Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silverline Live One-on-One. Tonight we are with Jaxon Renick, longtime pal of mine, acquaintance for comic books, and didn't mean say acquaintance. I mean to say collaborator, because I already said you were pal.
Hey, we've been to San Diego Con together, so
that's right. Yes, that's right. We've done the conventions thing together. Let me get Tommy back on here. So give me a moment, Jaxon, to I guess it just automatically does that, to make sure I tweet out these links and I share the links so that people can join us and ask questions, because hopefully we'll be joined by some folks and they'll want to ask you some questions. I always encourage.
How dare they?
Yeah, I always encourage hard questions, by the way. Well, crap, my title is wrong. Restream. And see, I've already made a mistake for the night. The title is wrong.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah. What is StreamYard shared a window? What? Hide. Okay. So what happens when I'm trying to push the buttons and let's see here. Update title. I think I can do it here.
Just glad you're not chewing gum.
That's right. Silverline One-on-One with Jaxon Renick. You know, I resist the urge, Jax, to
two ends.
Two ends.
Yeah.
Have I done that to you before?
Oh. If you did, it did not stick.
Okay. Yeah, every time I write, it's like I want to know, is it two ends or one end? Okay, no, it's one end. Because I know.
Two ends, just each in one name.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so there's that. I fixed that. Now let me refresh here. And I'm going to now share out the Facebook link, hopefully. It says it'll fix it in a minute. So let me make sure this is us live. Oh, yeah, that's me and you. So yep. The title is wrong. Let me send my wife a quick message to see if she can fix the title while we talk. Can you fix the Facebook title? So I'll get her to do that, hopefully. And YouTube, you didn't know I was this fancy, did you?
No.
Yeah, we're streaming to YouTube, we're streaming to Twitch, and we're streaming to Facebook. We find that we have probably the most people view us on Facebook, and then YouTube, and then Twitch, and in that order. So one more little message here to Twitter, and come on, catch me up. Online live with Jaxon Renick. Everybody can reply. Okay. All right, Jax. It looks like well. Hey, hello, everybody. So what I'll do is I'll keep an eye on the chat, and as people pop on and ask questions, I'll just ask them to you. So thanks for joining us, Jax.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. Well, we got a lot of history, a lot of stuff to talk about. I think we do anyway.
Almost 30 years.
Yes. So a long time. So before we get in, now that I've kind of hopefully got all the kinks worked out, so before we get into too deep here with Jax, for all of you who have been following, we have a Kickstarter launching tomorrow. Please go to the link, follow it so that you can be notified. I'll make sure I put the link in the details below. We're going to launch that tomorrow at noon. So come out and get another 2 new Silverline titles. For those of you who are waiting on the Silverline double feature, I know I showed this a little bit last night, but the proof copy is in my hands. Twilight Grim, Divinity. So this is a proof copy. So flip flip book. Still waiting on these from our printer, but expect those very soon. And for the Kalis folks, where there's, I can't remember, there's 5 or 6 of you. I'm still waiting on art from Argentina, and Argentina is still closed. So I beg your patience on that. Jack's already got a couple guys saying hi. Oven, hey Oven. Oven is probably #1 Silverline fan. And Brad Tompty says, love the haircut, Jax.
Yeah.
So
me and Tom.
That's right. So joining us tonight, well, kind of joining us, who will be inking is Thomas Florimonte. We'll pop him on at the end of the stream, see if he wants to say hello to everybody. But he is inking. Looks like he's going to be inking a page from Trumps. And Trumps, I always have to say, because of our climate these days, I always have to say Trumps is based on a deck of playing cards and not any kind of politics at all. So he's inking page 20. Thank you. Thank you, so that's the way he'll communicate with us periodically. All right, so Jax, yeah. So we've already established we've known each other for a long time, but I want to go back even further than that. I want to ask you. Now I know that you are from Oklahoma.
Yep.
Are you still there? Are you still in the Oklahoma area?
I'm down in Tucson.
Tucson. Okay. Wow. So you've moved away from the roots a little bit. Tell me though, what is the first, because we're talking comics, right? What's the first comic or comics you can remember as a kid?
Well, I have a memory of I guess it was Moby Dick off one of the trade racks. And I don't recall who was the artist or who was the writer or what company, but I remember like 3rd grade in class with a book open, my comic in front of me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
3rd grade, huh?
Oh yeah.
Moby Dick. Now, were you reading the novel at the same time?
No, I was just reading the comic.
You just read the comic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at what point? So that's the first one you can remember. At what point do you remember saying, "Okay, I kind of dig comics now," and you started buying them regular?
About 3rd grade.
3rd grade. Okay.
Yeah.
So was it Moby Dick that did it?
No, that just happens to be the comic that pops into my head when he said, "What's the first one?"
Yeah.
But I mean, I had Tono and Kono, the Jungle Twins.
I don't even remember that one.
Oh. That's one to look for. No, I still have some drawings of Tono and Kono.
Wow.
Back then. Yeah. But no, I mean, Batman was out when I was 3 years old. So I had Batman birthday cakes. I had Batman posters. So Batman had to be in the comics. And then, of course, Superman and everybody else.
Right. Very cool. Tommy says hello on the stream. Pops Fantanet says we are live in Comic Madness. So thanks for that, Pops. Always good to get some more eyeballs. Certainly always good to let people see Jax, and if they're not aware of his stuff, they need to be.
Just wait till they see what's coming out.
All right, so when were you a collector ever? I mean, not all comic. Yeah. So what are some of the things first things you remember collecting?
Well, I mean, it was always the comics, and back then it was kind of hard to find stuff, as I recall. I mean, you could always find something in the little toy aisle at the grocery store, and there's probably a Superman or Batman, maybe a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I was 12 that I started finding stuff.
Gotcha.
And then I guess it was actually Star Wars. When that came out, that's when the collecting started.
Right. So did you buy like the Howard Chaykin Marvel comic?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
I was in Laredo, Texas when that came out.
Really?
Yeah.
So now, are you talking about the movie now or the?
Well, the comic came out about the same time,
Yeah.
so and I had read the comic before I saw the movie.
Okay. So you were anticipating the movie then?
Yeah.
So
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a game changer, wasn't it?
Big time.
And of course, I know Tommy. Tommy is a huge Star Wars fan. So how many times did you see it at the theater?
Dude, come on.
No, seriously. How many times did you go see it? I mean, you were young, right? We were young.
Well, I was young. Well, I would have been in junior high.
Yep.
So it was really just a matter of how often I could get to the theater and if there was any lights.
Yeah.
But
I remember how many times.
But I saw it a number of times. Yeah.
I went to see the first Star Wars 9 times, and to me that was a huge thing, right? Because I saw it and like, wow, it was a game changer, and then it
was something we'd not seen before.
No, and we and geeks and nerds like me and you, this is what we wanted. I mean, we wanted this kind of thing,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
A friend of mine who was a little bit older than me had a car, and so on his dime, even we went to the theater. He would pay for me to go in, and I'm like, yeah. And of course, you remember back in those days, you just sat in place, right? So it wasn't unusual that we went to one and then just sat through it and watched the next one right after it. I don't think
I did that with the first Batman movie.
Yeah. I don't think you can get away
with my nephew. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. We sat through it twice. Yeah, we sat through it twice. Of course, there's that question. What's an enema? It's like, well, very quietly.
Isn't that one you're supposed to say? You need to ask your mom.
Oh hell no, I'm the uncle. Well, I'll tell you.
Okay. All right. So was it mostly the superheroes then that drew you, or because I know you're also a science fiction guy?
Oh, anything. I mean, Close Encounters, when that came out, that's just like, oh my gosh, I love the spaceships. They're friendly.
Yeah, and we wanted more, didn't we? After that was over.
Oh yeah, but I mean, we're talking late '70s, early '80s. So I mean, I had one of the original Alien figures, the Xenomorphs.
Right,
18 inches. I got it for Christmas.
Sweet.
And Mom had no idea what it was. She just knew that's what I want.
Now, did you read a lot of like science fiction novels as well?
Off and on. I mean, I got big into Tarzan and others. John Carter, but. Any of the Star Wars novels that came out, I was reading those. But there's some of the classics, and there's just like, ooh, I like that cover. What's this about?
Right? Yeah. Herrenberg says we used to make Devil's Towers out of mashed potatoes in the cafeteria.
Yep.
Yeah. It might depress you to hear. I sat down to watch that movie with my kids. Well, no, actually, I'm sorry. I'm thinking 2001: A Space Odyssey, and
that can be boring if you're not into it.
Well, and I think that's what happened. We watched, I don't know, probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that, and they're like, "How long is this?"
Yeah, yeah. They didn't have that wonder of going, "How the hell did they film this?" He's walking this circle. He was just doing what?
Yeah. Yeah, and also they didn't have. I think they've seen so much on film and television now that it's not a big deal to them.
Yeah, I mean, I just found Silent Running is available for free on one of my programs. It's like save.
Yeah. So Pedro again, is it an L or an I? Casedo said, "Did the Dune novels have any impact on you guys?"
Not on me.
Did you read the Dune novels at all?
I did not. When I saw the movie, you kind of had to.
Yes, you did.
And it was a spectacular thing.
Yeah.
I of course had the comic book adaptation. You had to. It's Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah. I read the Dune novels, but not until I was a little bit. I didn't read it in high school. I don't think I read Dune until probably like my second or third year in college. And the only reason I read it then was because
a girl.
No, not a girl. My friends were talking about it, and as they were talking, they made it like, oh, this is one you have to have read, and I'm like, okay then, because I want to maintain my, I want to hold on to my geek badge, so I went and it's a big book, but I went and read it and enjoyed the heck out of it. It was a very, very good read. And in fact, Pedro, I will say this. I've actually got a story that still is in development, but is very Dune inspired. So who knows? One day that one might come to fruition. So you already mentioned Bill Sienkiewicz. So who were some of the first artists and writers, but first comic book creators that had an impact on you?
Well, Kurt Swan.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm buying Superman, and for me, Kurt Swan is my Superman artist.
Yeah.
Just like Christopher Reeve is my Superman.
Yeah. I got to work with Kurt Swan one time. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he drew a Dinosaurs for Hire, a short piece for us when I was a Dinosaurs for Hire editor.
Cool.
Yeah, it was
like that.
It was a lot of fun. Good person.
All right, 6 degrees of Kurt Swan.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Listen, I am thankful to my time at Malibu, not only because I loved the heck out of it, and I did, but it afforded me the opportunity to meet many creators that I admired and work with a handful of them. So yeah, Tommy says me too. So Kurt Swan, because of Superman, and who else?
Well, we'll just stay on artists for a moment. Jim Aparo was kind of the premier Batman artist at that time. Yeah. Then Don Newton comes in with his Batman stuff, just blowing me away. But Neil Adams, of course.
Oh, yeah.
That was just one of those game changers for me.
Yeah.
It's just like, my God, how do you do that? Yeah. I can draw the other stuff, but how do you do that? So thankfully he's online and does live demos, and I go, that's how you do that.
Yeah. Herrenberg says the Silverstorm cover looks very George Perez.
George is a big influence. Byrne, Terry Austin.
We're of that era. Those guys' influences. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there are just artists out there that I love their stuff, but at the time my mind didn't connect to you can follow them. You don't have to just open the book and go, oh, there they are.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Because P. Craig Russell.
Another good artist.
I found him on Captain Canuck.
Oh yeah.
Way back when, and that was off the spinner racks at TG&Y in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Wow. I mean, that's just one of those. How the hell did we get this? When's the next one?
Yeah. And this was kind of the days before we really knew about comic news media, right?
Yeah. You didn't know where people went.
I mean, some of those things existed, but certainly in the early and middle 80s, I wasn't really aware of the Comic Buyer's Guide yet, you know.
Yeah.
Or even what Amazing Heroes, the magazine, things like that.
I pick up Starlog, find out what's going on in sci-fi.
Right. Yeah.
But I didn't have that for comics.
Right.
At least I hadn't come across where I could find that.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember discovering Comic Buyer's Guide and immediately took out a subscription to it. And you know, we passed that thing around. Of course, you know, Stephen Butler was my roommate for a while, and you know, Tommy hung out with us a bunch. We used to pass those things around because I mean that's where we got our news, you know, our industry gossip from. So we very much look forward to that all the time. Yeah, you know, I think I said to you before. That there are some panels of yours that I look at and go, man, there's some Barry Windsor Smith going on there too.
Oh, especially on White Devil 2.
Yeah. Which I think I let you know via email. We got a colorist for that.
Yeah,
she's going to be hopefully she'll start joining us on our regular live stream, so we'll start seeing some of that regularly pop up. But yeah, no, I even spotted some of it. I thought in Marauder, there are panels that I look at, you know, and it's not necessarily like whole pages, but there are panels I can look at and go, man, that looks like he's kind of channeling some Barry Windsor Smith there.
Yeah. Now, if I can just get Bob Layton to teach me how to do the Barry Windsor Smith ink.
So this is all. So you keep reading comics. You follow these guys all throughout high school.
Yeah.
At what point in time did you say, "I think I want to do that"? For that
high school.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was drawing. I had the big old pad. I did a recreation of a Neil Adams Superman cover with a Green Lantern. It's the one where Superman's in the bubble.
Oh yeah,
kind of like that, and there's Green Lantern behind him.
Yeah,
and gotta say, I don't think I have that pad, but it was pretty dead on. You know,
cool.
back then, if I lifted, I lifted.
Yeah, but you know. And you probably, I'm guessing that you would confirm this, but when you're starting off, that's a great way to learn.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Big time.
You copy. In fact, Tommy, I'm gonna tell Tommy's story. Tommy told me, one of the things that he did, was no, don't tell me. One of the things I can't remember who he said told him to do it. But he just took someone else's inks and literally just kind of traced over them to see and I think the idea was that it helped Tommy to understand as he's inking it. It's like it helps you not only see to do what they do, but it helps you to understand why it is they're doing
exactly.
What they're doing, and you kind of pick it up. And Tommy said he just did. I don't put words in my mouth, but I think Tommy said he just did like one page, and then it's like something snapped in his brain, and like, oh. Cool, I got it. You know, so yeah, I would never, you know, look down on or condemn someone for swiping or lifting, as you call it, because I think that's a great way to learn. One year I did a Christmas card of Superman. It's Kurt Swan, Superman's. Put him with this Santa hat, and he's walking away, and he's got a bag of toys over his back, and there's his cape flowing. And I don't recall what the book was. Maybe it was Superman, No More Superman, or something like that for Clark Kent. Yeah. But I swiped it, made a Christmas card out of it, and I look like Kurt Swan, You could have chosen worse artist, right? So So I neglected to say, I know Herrenberg made me kind of think about it when he mentioned the Silverstorm cover. I did neglect to say the books that you did for Silverline. You did Silverstorm, and I think that was the first one, right? No. Silverstorm was not the first.
Silverstorm 2.
Silverstorm 2, yeah.
Well, I did, but Marauder was first.
Okay, Marauder was the first project, and then you did. So you did Marauder, you did Silverstorm, and then you did White Devil. Am I forgetting something? Okay, no. And you did some open space for Marvel as well.
Yeah.
So you did. What's up, Wubba? Wubba says hello, everyone. Wubba's certainly a regular, and there's some exciting stuff coming about Wubba here in the not too distant future, I think. So you're in high school when you decided this is what you want to do. Was there a book, a certain project, a certain artist, a certain thing that made you say, okay, if this can happen, I can happen?
Oh, hell, I knew better than that.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Well,
there was no specific moment.
Okay.
It was just like, for me, it was kind of a given.
Yeah.
And then it became this is what I strive for.
Right. Well, and I only say that because you and I we kind of came in there at the tail end of the black and white boom of the 80s.
Definitely.
And I don't hesitate to say at all that, now I'm not going to name titles, but there were quite a few comics published in the 1980s that I went, what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
If this thing can get published, then I can too. And I know that, whether you're a Turtle fan or not, and I'm not a Turtle hater. I'm not a big Turtle fan, but
original Turtles. Oh, God, love them.
Well, what it is, they really opened the doors for a lot of folks like me and you. When at one point in time, really the only thing you could do was Marvel and DC, or or Archie, some of that kind of thing. They really opened the doors for a lot. Yeah, independent comics had been around, but it was more the brown bag comics that you had to buy from behind the counter, right? Where they really opened it up for a lot of variety, and a lot of stuff came in. Like I said, not all of it good, but there was a lot of stuff that was good.
Stuff that you go, how the hell did you come up with that? That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, Turtles, actually, because you're sitting there going, you're riffing off Frank Miller, Daredevil. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fantastic. And it's funny. True story here, Jax. Probably about, let's see, about the years of 2000, 2010, probably about a decade ago, I pitched some turtle stories to, I think it was IDW at the time.
Yeah.
And one of the pitches dealt with the origin of the turtles with the ooze and that kind of stuff, because I used extra ooze for something else, right? And the editor responded that the turtles' origin is not now, nor has it ever been, connected to Daredevil in any kind of way.
Liars.
I know. You're so wrong. I don't even know who you are. And
here are my issues. Here are my Daredevil issues. They swap out.
I thought about that for a long time, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is a legal thing that they have to do to say so that Marvel doesn't sue them. But I was just pitching stories to write. I didn't say anything about Daredevil or anything. I said about the Turtles' origin. Yeah. And I just like, yeah, okay. It was at that point in time when I was, you know what, I really don't want to work for you anyway.
Yeah. There are times you get a response and you go, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I thought we were looking at doing this, but what the hell was that?
Yeah. So, you kind of wonder what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So what did you do then after you decided? All right, this is the thing that I want to do. Yeah, see, Michael Lanning says, the foot. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. Foot, hand,
Dick. I mean, there's so much.
splinter. Yeah.
So much. So this is what you decided you want to do. At what? So what did you do from there? You say, okay, this is where I want to go. How did you? You're in Oklahoma now. I'm a Mississippi boy, as is Tommy. So I know that Oklahoma is not a mecca of comic publishing. So what did you do?
Well, let's go to the summer that I graduated.
Okay.
It's June 1981. And I had been living in Phoenix for the first part of that school year, moved back home to Oklahoma to finish off. But I had gone to Fringe Con, the first Fringe Con up in Phoenix.
Okay.
And I had friends and all that, and we decided, let's go do Fringe Con 2. So I hopped on a bus, got out to Fringe Con 2, had my Cyclops from the X-Men costume.
Really?
I had two of my best budettes from high school. One is Phoenix, the other is Kitty Pryde. And so it was our second Fringe Con. Met Chris Claremont.
Wow.
He was very enamored with Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
I was too, but I knew why, But I had a table at that convention, so I was selling stuff, sketches and whatnot. And but at the costume contest that night, we're all in the auditorium, and there's another group of X-Men. Nice costumes too.
Yeah.
But they had Corsair, and so Chris Claremont is up there doing his Yoda impersonations whenever he can, and the folks come up, and he names off all the characters that everyone's dressed as, and he says, and this is Corsair, and if you don't know it, he is Cyclops' father. At which point I stand up in the middle of the auditorium going, what?
Dressed as Cyclops.
Yeah, dressed as Cyclops. Had the visor on and everything. He looked at and went, crap. But no, I was, I'd had, at the previous Fringe Con, I'd had art in the show. Took first place, amateur artist. So that was nice.
Now, is it? This is not comic art, though, right? Isn't it like science fiction? Fantasy art?
No. Actually, one of the pieces was a Conan.
Oh,
it was John Buscema.
Cool.
And in fact, hold on one moment.
You got that one, huh? Wow. So, Tommy, I'm adding you back in real briefly. He's muted. I tossed you on there, Tommy. Sorry. I caught you by surprise. He's stepping away, getting a piece of art. So ink's looking good there.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Hey, Tommy, thanks for filling in.
I brought him back in to fill in.
All right,
bye.
So, first Fringe Con.
Yeah.
I have this.
All right. Let's see here. Hold on. Hold it up. Let me. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Very cool.
I had that, and then I had a Colossus piece.
Of course, Colossus. Wow.
Yeah. little bit of Byrne, a lot of Perez.
Yeah. I see a price tag up there on it.
Oh, yeah.
In the upper left.
Yeah.
Wow.
From way back when.
Yeah. Wow. So very cool.
But I missed Stan Lee. He was at the first convention.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until Stan left that some of the convention people, when Stan's been looking for you. And I'm going, crap.
No way.
Yeah. Just,
oh, man.
Oh, I know.
Wow. And that was back in the day when you could, you just talk to him. You didn't have to wait in line for hours and pay $120.
No, he could walk by a whole group of people and then just stop and go, "Hey, true believer."
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember him at least one of the Dallas shows.
Yeah.
Wubba said, talking about what we were talking about the Turtles, he said Eastman has admitted being heavily influenced by Miller's Daredevil run, and he said, "Whose pencils are those? Those they're gorgeous looking. I'm gonna blow them up so they can see just a little bit. Tommy, I'm gonna make you go solo here if I can figure it out. Yeah." Those pencils are Thomas Hedgelin. Thomas Hedgelin is penciling Trumps that Tommy is inking, and hopefully our plan is to kickstart that in September. And yes, Wubba, I agree with you. They're very gorgeous looking, and Tommy looks fantastic over it. And wait until you see some of the colors that Sid Vinblue has been adding. They are just gorgeous. So I'm very excited about this project. Tommy and I have talked quite a bit about this. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I want to do.
There you go.
And we got to the point we were like, yeah, it's one of the things that whenever we, say, hey, we're doing a book called Trumps. It's about, it's based on a deck of cards, and it's like we feel in this kind of day and age, we kind of have to immediately go there because people are going to go, what? We're like, wait.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to write a comic book, dude. I'm just trying to do a comic book. It's science fiction, fantasy, and the clubs are a kingdom. The diamonds are a kingdom. It's just Trumps, when you play cards. So, but yeah, I'm very excited about the project.
Should have called it Pinochle.
Well, so Jackson, so here's the deal. All right, this is an exclusive. Tommy's probably listening to this still, but you play Pinochle, I'm guessing?
I do not.
Oh, well, shoot, my story's going to be wasted on you then. There are elements of my story that comes from an actual game of Pinochle. And I don't mean like, oh, this was one game that I experienced. No. I'm talking about the pairings and the card formations that you can make to earn points.
Yeah.
Some of what happens in the story is from the game of Pinochle. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. My family plays a lot of Pinochle, and it's something we have played since I was probably, 17, something like that. It's who? Well, let's just put it this way, Tommy. I don't think this is a Pinochle deck. I'll give you a clue, Tommy. In Bridge, Wubba Fett says Bridge. Oven says September is my birthday month, so I'm looking forward to Trumps. Cool. Me too, Oven. So in Pinochle, if you have a queen of spades and a jack of diamonds, that is a strong pairing for your points at the early part. So as you might imagine, there's a queen of spades and jack of diamonds relationship in this book. So yeah, I take freely from that. Okay, so you go to Arizona at a convention. You set up at a table. You're selling your sketches, your artwork. How do you go from doing that into a comic book?
Let's see.
What was your first comic book?
Now, first book should have been Kamiko's Primer.
Oh,
when Matt Wagner was editor of it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And I had an 8-page story, and had sent that in, and they were going to use it, but they were changing their format. So my first work is not my first work.
Oh no! Oh no! So what was the reason? Did they just say?
They were just doing a different format.
Yeah.
So the timing was like one issue too late.
Yeah. So who did you draw for Kamiko?
It was just an independent story.
Oh, okay.
Because they just needed product, and the primer was just to showcase new artists.
Okay. So was this something that you wrote as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I did not realize that.
Oh yeah.
So when did all right, so this is a loaded question. And you may hate that I know Tommy hates that I ask these kind of questions. When did we meet?
Well, Fantasy Fair.
Yeah.
Don't ask me which hotel. I mean, it could have been the Fairmont because that was usually the one.
Right.
But I think it was a different hotel because I think the layout for the artist row was different. Because we were all up there on one level, just in a row,
like on a balcony.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that wasn't the Fairmont. So
I don't remember the name of the hotel.
Yeah.
But I remember being on the balcony.
Yeah.
Where you could kind of look, behind you and yeah.
Yeah.
Now you had already done. I think when we met, I think you had already done Open Space at the time, hadn't you?
Yeah.
So how did Open Space come about then?
Let's see. Open Space. I believe I got that from I had done. A friend of mine had Chaos Magazine.
Okay.
That's Deanne DeWitt, and so it was a anthology book, and so I had done a story in that. And then the second issue, I had done the cover. And it was one of those issues that was coming out. And I believe it was a convention thing. Someone saw it or whatnot. But then again, I was sending in stuff to Marvel and DC. So it...
a lot of money on postage those days, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, not as much as today. But there's no way I could afford postage now.
Yeah.
The kids just don't know, do they, Roland?
Yeah, but they did everything on the email today.
Yeah.
I can't. None of the. I can't tell you, but I don't remember the last time I got anything, particularly submission through the mail. They all come. Here's a link to my online portfolio. Here's a link to my pages. Here's a link to my samples. Unless I ask otherwise, but they're always, here's a link or here's a zip file or something like that, which I don't necessarily like the zip files because they load up your, take up space. And even in all honesty, so like the stuff that Tommy's inking there, Hedgeland, he penciled those, and I'm not sure whether he did them digital or not. But even if they do them traditionally, he scans them on his end and just sent the high res digital file to Tommy. He sends me a file, and I don't see, man, not like when I was an editor at Malibu. I would get stacks of FedEx.
Definitely.
Pages,
page after page after page.
Yep. And you could always tell the smokers. You open the box, right? But yeah, not. It's all digital files now. Even the traditional, the work done traditionally, comes to me in a digital file just because they'll do it traditional and then they'll scan it. Yeah. So I'm sorry I interrupted you because I thought postage there for a minute. But you were sending out samples, and that's how.
So. Kurt Busset
was
assistant editor, and Karen. I wish I could remember Karen's last name.
Karen Berger was she went over.
Yeah.
Because she went over and did Vertigo for 20 years at DC, and only just recently left to go to somewhere, IDW maybe, or Dark Horse, to do Berger books.
Yeah.
So yeah, Karen Berger.
Yeah. I really wish Neil Posner hadn't died.
Yeah.
I'd had some stuff into him, and he was loving it. I was going, yes! And he says, I just don't have anything for you right now. You know, and then because he passed, he'd sent me a letter back and all that, and he had to pass just after that.
Oh, man.
I was just like, oh, because all these remembrances were coming out from everybody and saying how great he was and how he had that eye. And I'm going, I had that eye. You know? I had that eye. Damn it.
Yeah. Just a little more time.
Yeah.
Herrenberg says Berger Books is Dark Horse. So and so did Wubba said, yeah. So she went to Dark Horse. So do you remember the first time you were invited to a convention then as a guest?
Well, I remember being invited, but not. It was Dallas. Yeah. Larry Kahn.
Larry Langford. God rest his soul. Those were. I still tell people today, the Dallas shows were some of the best shows in my entire career I've ever done.
Yeah.
The people, the fans in Dallas are just amazing. They were, as an independent guy, they were so open.
Yes.
To things that didn't have a Marvel and a DC logo on it.
Yeah.
And if they would talk to you and they're like, hey, I'll try it out. And I'm like, man, I love that attitude. And
oh, yeah.
Dallas was always a really, really good show for me. And I've been I've been trying to talk to the guy who runs the Dallas show these days and trying to get back on, but I can't seem to, I'm probably not in a high enough list for him anymore. But yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, come on. It's all comics.
Yeah.
And, we do good if you give us the exposure.
Right. Yeah. Well, I told somebody yesterday, you probably remember this, Jax. In fact, here you go.
Oh, yeah.
You recognize this piece here? Yeah.
Yep.
You remember we used to put on the back of all of our
yeah.
Our comics don't suck, right? Yeah. And because we've always talked about, we just want to make fun comics, and that's what they're all about. I do miss the Dallas shows. And those were still some of the best shows I think I've ever done. So hopefully one day I'll get back over in that area. I'm going to keep working on it though. Keep working on the folks in charge there. So when we met, so you'd already done Open Space. I think that's why I kind of wanted to backtrack a little bit and hit Open Space, because I remember that about you. I remember that you had already done the Marvel Open Space stuff. And of course, anytime your creator, you hear, oh, he's done this thing there, you're like, oh, really? Let me talk to him and let me see what's going on. I think I remember who introduced us. I'm not going to swear to it, but I think I remember. I think it was Dean Anderson.
More than likely.
Yeah.
Not Harry Dean Anderson, but.
Yeah. No. No, just Dean Anderson, the horror novelist.
Yeah.
Dean. I always think of them as Dean and Nina. As a duo. It's always Nina Romberg and Dean Anderson.
Yeah.
I think it was Dean that introduced the two of us, And I remember hitting it off with you immediately. I don't think you called me Poodle Boy immediately.
No, it was when the humidity really hit.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't remember. So here's the thing I don't remember, though. I don't remember how the first project with you came about. I remember it, but I don't remember how it came about. Do you remember that?
I would have to say you asked me.
But was it something that do you remember? I just call you up and said, "Hey, want to do this?" Or were we talking at a show? Or
I'm going to guess we were talking at a show.
Yeah, that would be my guess too.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the specifics.
Well, we are gray, so we have an excuse.
This is true. And the other day, my wife put, she got to have some lights. She's my set designer area, right? So she makes sure I've got lights where lights need to be. Although that one over there is not working. And so the other day, she was testing it out, and I'm sitting here looking. And I'm like, I don't think I like these lights. It makes my hair look a whole lot grayer than what it really is. And she said, your hair is gray. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's still a lot of blonde in it. She said, just deal with it. Yeah.
It's not the lights, honey.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty much what she said. Yeah. So Marauder was the first thing you did. Now, did you also know Sid at the time?
No, I don't believe so.
Did you ever meet Sid?
Does not stick out in my mind.
Yeah.
Nothing personal, Sid, if you're listening.
Yeah. Well, Sid was from Louisiana, and then he ended up, I don't know what year, but he ended up over in the Texas area. So it would have made sense that, the two of you met up at some point in time at some convention. I don't remember it myself, but it would have made sense that had happened.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember if Marauder was Sid's first as well. I don't think it was. I think he had already done Mantis Files, maybe. So the Marauder. Tell me, in looking back now, 30 years on this, what do you remember about the Marauder and your experience with that? Which by the way.
There's a scene in the story where
I got these.
Kevin, there you go. There you go. Hey, Steve.
All right.
Yeah. I rather like those covers.
Yep.
But there's a scene where Kevin is the kid's name, isn't it?
It is not Kevin.
It's not Kevin?
No, it's Kirk.
Oh, okay.
Kirk Connell. And listen, Jax, the only reason I know that is because I got these out
there.
Yeah, recently.
That's right. But he's on a jet ski.
Uh-huh.
And
what issue?
3 maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe 4.
All right.
But Jim Lee was doing Punisher at the time. And there's a picture of the Punisher on a jet ski. And I came nowhere near doing as well on the art. But
I'm trying to find it real quick here. But yeah, so go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah, I think it's he's rescuing the girl. Yeah.
Talking about this panel here. Yeah.
I'm talking about that whole little bit there.
Yeah.
No Jim Lee influence came through.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of. When I think of the Marauder, there are a lot of panels that immediately come to my mind. I mean, for instance, I absolutely love what issue was it? I think it's the second issue. The cliffhanger image there at the end. Nope, not that one. Thought it was the end of this issue. But it's when the robot. So people can see it. Let me go big here. Whoops. Let me go big on me though. So I think you can still see this, Jax.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love that panel there. I look at that and just go, man, look at that, because there's so much that you capture in that, the robot towers over him, and he's just standing there like, uh-oh, here we go. And actually, I like that one too.
Yeah. Yeah, that one I like.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that I see some of that.
But take another look at the robot. No, at the robot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, see that gun in his hand?
I do.
I have that gun.
Do you really?
it shoots little rubber bullets.
Is it a?
It's a toy gun.
Yeah.
Back when you could buy toy guns.
Yeah.
In the toy store. But
it looks cool.
Yeah, that's an authentic toy gun in that made up robot.
I tell you, I absolutely always loved this panel as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I think just because of the established, we could go off on a long time, but I think that's one of the things missing in a lot of comics today is that a lot of times the artists don't establish. Now
you have to.
Yeah. Now I will kind of blame the writers for that as well, because the writers have got to learn to put that in there.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, well then why is an artist? Yeah. If you don't say, hey, we need to draw this, then they're not going to draw it, right? There's the one with the smoking. Of course, I absolutely love this page. Right, with all the rain. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think Chuck Bordell did a fantastic job.
Chuck did a great job on that.
Yeah, I'm a big Chuck Bordell fan.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you or not. Chuck's actually finishing the White Devil stuff. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
He didn't do the first part of White Devil. I can't remember why. There's that smoking panel that I always love.
Yeah.
See, I looked at that and I'm like, man, that's channeling some Barry Windsor Smith there.
Yeah. How about all that wood on the next panel?
Oh yeah. Yep. So my hand's in the way.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's a lot of things that for me, immediately come to mind when I that's not what I want. Hold on. Let me get back to that's what I want there. So there's a lot of things that when I think of the Marauder that immediately come back to these images pop into my brain here. Let's see here. We got a thank you for the stream and good luck on Twitch. Herrenberg says always write in an establishing shot in every scene. You don't always have to use it, but it should be a strong option. And which I absolutely agree with that, because if you said, they're not going to know. We're not going to know where they're at. You have to establish. And one thing's, my friend Barry Gregory and I talk about this before. Barry is Tommy's partner at Kablam, and even though they're not, I haven't talked them into sponsoring us yet. Kablam prints all of our comics, so if you like what we're doing, then Kablam's printing them. He and I talked about this before. It seems like some writers don't like the idea of starting. They think that they just have to give an establishing shot and the story can't start yet. Well, he and I were talking about, do you remember you could see a building and then you would have a balloon pointing to the building, but Mr. Stark, why are you firing this man and it's pointing to the building, right? So the dialogue is coming from inside the building and the next shot is from inside the building, and you get to introduce it. But there's no reason you don't have to, just because it's an establishing shot doesn't mean it has to be silent and you can't have any words on it, and he and I have talked about that before, about how that's a terrible thing that a lot of modern writers like to do.
Yeah, I mean,
Graphico says this is fun. Thanks, Sofiso. Hey, look, you guys, if you got questions for Jaxon, please don't hesitate to put them up there. Easy questions, hard questions. I actually prefer the hard questions. He might not, but I say bring them on. Ask the questions. You put them up there, and then I'll make sure that we ask him, put him on the spot.
But back to establishing shots. Yeah. Once you have your establishing shot, you're free.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, what you put behind your characters, well, over here, it doesn't have to be extremely highly detailed. Right. I mean, John Buscema was master at this.
Oh man,
you get the establishment shot, and you get a little something here, a little something here.
Yeah,
figures, a little something here. Yeah,
rock here, a tree here.
Yeah,
a straight line. You're like, what the heck is that? Well, you know, they're in a room.
That's the horizon. Yeah. If it's three straight lines, it's the trim.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I saw. I'm going to get this wrong. I'm not really good with my Japanese artist. I think it Miyazaki, maybe. I can't remember. But there was a little video about the reason that the artist, whoever it was, did a really immaculate, really elaborate establishing shot in the first panel, with just full of details. I mean, just you can look at it, see all the little details, and then the next panel, there's like a character in like one line in the background. The next panel, there's nothing in the background, and that's like because the artist has already established, hey, you know what's going on. Now you're just seeing the characters, and your mind is already saying, oh, they're moving around in this place that we've already established over here.
And the nice thing about that is that then you just have to do, from the establishing shot, we're going to take this little item, put it over here so we know where the characters are. Mm-hmm. And then we can do it again over here with this, and you can move your people throughout the page, and you know where they are.
Yeah.
Just by the, look at that little box. We saw that box over here.
Right.
Cool. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you use any kind of models? I know I've seen some artists get the little the posable, bendable models that they'll put on, if they want to put their character in a scene, they'll put a little bendable model on the front of them. Do you use anything like that?
Have you seen my toy collection?
No, I have not seen your toy collection.
I just wish they still made G.I. Joes at the 12-inch size.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were perfect for doing crowd shots.
Oh.
Crowd shots. Yeah, because you can establish where people are, and then with your camera, click.
Yeah.
And then, let's try it from over here. Let's try this angle. And then you can kind of figure out what kind of a scene you want to do with it.
Ah.
I mean, you can do it with your 6-inch figures and all that, but I'm a original G.I. Joe fan.
You're an OG G.I. Joe, right?
Oh, I can't tell you how much money I'd spend over on Sideshow collectibles.
Oh, really?
I mean, if I had the money.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. That's a good question. Has Thomas Formonti ever inked you before?
Has he?
It's his question.
No.
I don't know. I think the answer to that might be no. I don't. I'm trying to rack my brain. The Silverstorm cover. Did you do that Silverstorm cover? You did the Silverstorm cover all yourself, didn't you, Jax? The new one for the trade.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did that one. Yeah,
it's still not finished yet, right? It's being colored, by the way.
Yeah.
And I think I sent you the occasional colored image, haven't I?
Yeah.
The random color. Yeah. I got to get on him. He's got to color faster.
Yeah, I saw some of the panels from when Kirk is lowering himself down into the museum.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
And we had the laser grid.
Yeah. I'm trying to think though. Tommy, I don't think he has. Are you aware of something that you have inked that? No. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see. Well, one of the things I'm going to mention here towards the very end, I'm going to blindside him with it a little bit, is maybe see if we can't, get him to sharpen his pencil some, and maybe we'll see if we can't make that happen, Tommy. So all right, so the Marauder, which I think was a fantastic story, still one that I think still holds up today. Again, it's real fresh for me because I pulled it out. And then, so that was in the early 90s. Well, let's see. The dates are here. No, that's not true. That was in 98. So it's in the late 90s in.
Yeah.
So, and then this was followed by Silverstorm then, right?
Yes.
Volume 2, yeah. And then you and I did the 4 issues of Silverstorm, in which we brought Champion down. Demon had a little spot in a little cameo in the story. Champion was a bigger part of that story, but basically, now I'm forgetting his name. Castle lost his armor, lost his company, and lost his armor, and that was kind of that story. And then you did White Devil 2 with R.A. Jones.
Oh yeah.
Now R.A.'s another Oklahoma guy.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yep. Have you seen R.A. In recent years?
I have not.
Oh. I know he is still in Tulsa. I know that he is very much a Luddite when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
He has been on. He was on one of our shows with us one time, but he had to call in. So there was no picture, and he couldn't see anything that we were doing. It was just him talking on the phone to a whole bunch. It was like a party call.
Yeah.
What do you remember? Do you remember much about White Devil?
I love drawing that dragon.
Yep.
That dragon's just fun as all out. But and also the girl in that. I really love drawing her character.
Yeah, the Shimu or what? Shimuza, something like that. I think was her name.
Possibly.
Yeah,
possibly.
She was the I forget what they're called now. That she had a front the torso up of a human being and then the body of a horse.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I forget what those are called.
Well, if we're talking,
stream remind me what those are called.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking of the Motar now. The commercials for Geico.
So,
What's it feel like being a Motar?
So I have shorts on, so I'm not going to stand up on stream. They're shorts, not like but I'm going to stand up and get some artwork. So because I think I feel like I can still hear you though.
Yeah.
It's not that I've gone away. But it's on a rack behind me, and I had to stand up to get it. All right, where are we at here? Let's see here. Whoops, I'm gonna make me get a little bit bigger here. That's not me.
That's not you.
Recognize that at all?
It's not one of mine.
Are you sure? I am not 100%, but fairly percent. What about this one?
Oh yes, that one. Yeah.
There's. If you were going to deny this one, I was going to say there's your signature.
No, there's signature. Yeah.
But, I don't see a signature on this one at all. Now that you mention it, I sure thought it was one of yours though, because.
Well, looking at it on the screen, it looked like the key to Superman's Fortress of Solitude.
No, this is supposed to be a dagger or a sword shoved into a door.
Oh, okay. No, I recognize it. Yeah, there's the blood splatter down there, and there's the handle. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a shading on the blade that kind of gave it the key look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jax, I'm not gonna swear this is yours, but I think it's yours because it's been in my stack of this artwork.
Yeah.
Or actually, I should say this: RA had this artwork.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Until recently, and I asked him if he still had it, and he said he did. And I said, "Well, do you want to make another go of it?" So this is just another a centaur. Thank you, Wubba. So this is just another example when we're doing these. Sorry, Jax, just a little commercial here for a minute. When we tell you guys that our comics are done, here you see it here. I'm holding up this is the entire, to be continued right there. This is the entire first issue of this of White Devil. Here is done. It's Jax. Oh, there's his dragon. Jax penciled it, and you see it's completely inked. And we're just we're getting it colored now. So by the time we make it to Kickstarter, it's going to be completely finished. So it's very cool. Yeah, I think RA sent these to me. RA sent these to me 6-ish months ago, something like maybe not even that long. But came in a nice big box, and I got all three of the or four. Sorry, here's the one of the other covers, and then there's this cover.
Yeah, that one I really liked.
Yeah, me too. I've got also, I think, can't remember if I have the physical or if it was just a scan where I think you had dropped some color into it. On a photocopy or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was now. I'd have to go back. So Donnie on Twitch says, "How's everyone?" Donnie, we're doing good. Royal Airship says, "What makes a character fun to draw?" I'm sure this is a reaction.
So sometimes it's just the writing.
Okay.
Because if the writer's not putting in the energy, it doesn't really come across to the artist.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just what the character is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are characters out there I don't want to draw just for the simple fact that they're overloaded with detail.
So you're not a big Image era character fan then? Pockets on pockets on gadgets.
Well, most of my characters do have pockets. Belts and pouches and all that fun stuff. But there's just some, like when they redesigned the Batman's costume in the comics.
Uh-huh.
And has all that line work, coming down here and all that. I'm going, crap, I don't want to draw that.
Yeah. Go back to simple. There's a line here and a line there, right?
Yeah. It's one of those, no. I stay with the Jim Aparo Batman.
Right, yeah. I'm guessing that question was a reaction to you talking about how much fun the dragon was to draw.
Yeah.
I think RA did a great job writing the dragon as part of the story. It's a fun character in the story.
Definitely.
Wubba says those are gorgeous, referring to the White Devil pages. He said He says, kind of looks like an Alan Davis vibe. Do you have any Alan Davis influences?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 80s to 2000. Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole slew of guys and gals right there that really just made me go, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so all of them they're in there somewhere.
Yeah.
They'll pop out.
Yeah. And you know that I love to hear that you said that, because this is one of the things that I kind of try to tell my students, and we go back to talking about when we're talking about, you know, don't be afraid to swipe early, because what you want to do.
Look at Rick Buckler, you know.
Yeah. You know, but you want to take all of these influences, all these styles, and put them in a bucket and swirl them up, and what you come out with is your own style.
Yeah.
You know, you're influenced by all of them, but you want it to be your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember convention-wise, almost every convention, someone would come out and go, "Oh, my friend, my brother, my brother's friend, or whomever, are talented artists, and they love doing comics, but you know, they just don't do it." And one of the complaints is, well, because they like such and such artists, and they can never be as good as them.
Right.
And I would always say, it's not about that artist.
Right.
We have that artist.
We don't need
what we don't have is your friend.
Right.
You know, because anybody can go and copy.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the results of what's been distilled through your head through your hand.
Yep.
For the final product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay. So, you know, one of the things I forgot to ask, I went straight from conventions to your first book. What kind of training, if any, do you have for art and comic art?
Art Institute of Kansas City.
Art Institute of Kansas City, yeah.
Well, actually, it's the Kansas City Art Institute.
Okay.
I think if you do Art Institute in front, it's a completely different institute.
Oh, really? Both of them in Kansas City?
Well, no. I mean, you've seen commercials for the Art Institute,
right?
And it's, you know, whatever local branch or whatnot.
Okay, I got you.
But for Kansas City, it's KCAI, Kansas City Art Institute.
Okay.
And it's not far from the Kansas City, Missouri University, the State University.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I went there for a couple of years, and you know, did what I did.
Yeah, yeah. Now, do you feel like the university or the training that you got there, the classes that you got, do you feel like those prepared you? And now this is kind of a not really a loaded question, but it's one of these things that I have to be very careful in what I say, because I teach at a university, right?
Mm-hmm.
I teach writing at a university, in which I believe is a good thing. But I think when people are trying to make it into a creative endeavor, such as what we're doing, I don't know that I'm not convinced that a schooling is 100% necessary. You know, I think it certainly helps, but you know, so that's kind of why I'm fishing for you. Do you think? What do you think you kind of got out of it, and did it help you?
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, no, I'm lying. I'm lying. The thing about going to school is you're going to find yourself exposed to stuff that you'd never even thought about.
Yeah.
Or stuff that you'd had an inkling that that's kind of interesting, but now you have the time and ability to actually go, well, what is that like?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, if I were to go to school now, I'm pretty sure the Art Institute does have a comic program.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, or some illustrative program.
Right.
That's bent towards comics.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, but what were all the big blockbusters for the last 5-10 years?
That's right. Yep.
Comic book movies.
Yep.
So you guys going to miss out on all these wannabe comic book artists? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
and they didn't have a comic program back in the early 80s.
No. There was creative writing programs.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
But that was creative writing for prose.
Yeah.
To teach you how to write short stories and novels and stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, the Kubert School was around, but that was
actually I do take that back because I was accepted to the Kubert School.
Really?
When I was at the Art Institute, and while the school's accredited for the Indian grant that I was getting for my schooling, it didn't have the right accreditation.
No way.
I was so pissed.
No way.
I remember being in my Kansas City apartment, getting that phone call, and it's Joe Kubert.
Oh.
Yeah. I think you'd be great. And I'm going, oh crap.
Oh my!
Because I'd sensed I'd made sure he got all my information and all that, and so he unfortunately called me back and says because of this, the accreditation wasn't working out, unfortunately. And at the time, I just had no way to raise the funds to go and do it.
It's a pricey place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus you got to go live in New Jersey, so and that's even more expensive way more expensive than Oklahoma.
Yeah, but it's New Jersey, and I was already in Missouri, so it's a trade-off. Missouri was the first state I've lived in where, due to the humidity in the summer, you don't wear your clothes. Your clothes wear you.
Right. Yeah.
You walk right out. There it is.
Yeah.
Just soaked.
It's so funny because when I moved to Florida, all the Floridians talked about their humidity. And of course, I grew up in Mississippi, so I just kind of laugh at them. Yeah. You keep telling yourself about the humidity. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Bless your heart.
Yeah. Yes. Bless her heart.
Missouri's produced some pretty good folks. So Steve Gerber was from Missouri. Roy Thomas from Missouri. Denny O'Neil from Missouri. So
wasn't I think I think Corbin lived there.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Because I remember someone asking if I'd like to meet Corbin, and I went, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Never happened, but
Yeah. Wow. So all right. Wubba says Georgia is like that too. Yeah, I can imagine. I think probably anywhere in the deep South has that humidity, but Floridians for some reason just tend to think that their humidity is worse than any place else, and I don't really know why. It's hot, but it's not the humidity is not anything. It's not unbearable like you can find in July in Mississippi. It's just and
it's why I like Tucson, because while it can be 107 outside, it's 97 in the shade, baby. That humidity, it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
you can escape the heat just by sitting in the shade. You can't do that in the South.
Yeah, no, you can't.
It follows you.
Yes, it does. Now, because you said it, and if I ask you something that you don't want to talk about, just say, hey, let's move on. Next subject. You mentioned the Indian grant. Now, this is something. This is in your ancestry, right?
Yep.
And I think this is certainly one of the things for me that first got my attention with you, because as a student of American history, I'm like, oh, well, let's talk, man. Let's tell me about yourself. I don't know if you remember that at all.
Oh, I'm sure I talked,
Yeah.
But as my papa's favorite joke, I'm part Choctaw, part Chickasaw. The Choctaw say I'm Chickasaw, the Chickasaw say I'm Choctaw. So
Nobody wants to claim you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember, you and I talked probably about it when I had the opportunity to write a story for Kamiko with the Elementals, Bill Willingham's Elementals. I wrote a story about
I
Vortex.
love Bill.
Yeah, same here. And what I did, the Elementals were set in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I was able to bring Vortex down to Philadelphia, Mississippi, which is where the Choctaw Indian Reservation is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to bring in my interest and love and affection for that part of America which I personally think is often very overlooked. It was something that I could do to bring in that aspect of America, to have Vortex come down and participate in his story on the Choctaw Reservation there in Mississippi.
Cool.
Yeah. I my only regret about that is that we didn't get to finish it. Oven says you could take the humidity. We don't want it. Yeah, I don't know anybody who wants the humidity. All right, so after White Devil, what did you do?
Let's see here. Now, before White Devil, I did 2 issues of Terminator Deathstroke.
Okay, cool.
Or Deathstroke the Terminator.
Was that with Marv by any chance? Marv Wolfman?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
I got credentials, baby.
You do. That's impressive.
Yeah. And in fact, we did that. It's when California had the earthquake.
Okay, yeah.
Because I had I think I had 1 script, the first issue, and it took forever to get the second issue. Understandably why.
Sure, yeah.
But so there was a bit of a time drag between the first and second getting done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, as you said, understandable, because he was right. He was right there on pretty close to the epicenter.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he's still there, but he's in the Valley area. And that's where I'm assuming you're talking about the Northridge earthquake of '94.
Yes.
Very cool. Not the earthquake was cool, but very cool.
No,
you did Marv.
Yeah. So there's that. The Chaos books, and what else?
Yeah.
Oh, I did something for was it Michael's home decorations or whatnot. It's kind of like Hobby Lobby, but it's Michael's and whatnot.
I'm familiar with Michael's.
I did some advertisement work for him, and
that's cool.
It was for their Easter stuff. So some of it has my Easter bunny on it, on the packaging.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. All right,
if that's what you want.
Yeah. Oh, there is one. I dare anybody to find it. Bible Man.
You did Bible Man stuff?
I did the first issue of Bible Man.
The curly-headed guy from Eight Is Enough, Willie Ames, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. I did. It was 2 different little stories. I did the first story, and they didn't like it because they were doing an audiobook, basically.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to read along while you watch the video and all this and all that, or and it's read to you or whatnot. And so they gave me the audio recordings, and I'll tell you, that changed the entire first story.
Really?
I mean, yeah, because they had all the sound effects in there, and so it took place in a dungeon, with torches and all this, and I had that in the first effort. Second effort, you couldn't miss it. It was just atmosphere.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, is it
was
still available?
I really doubt it.
I'm going to look really quick while you talk.
Yeah. Oh, I've looked before. I've not seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were doing the Bible Man with Willie Ames as a video, and then they wanted to do a companion comic book,
right,
with audio. So
I have seen the videos, and they're pretty cheesy. So I see something here that does not look like your art from here. Was it for Broadman and Holman? Do you remember who was doing it?
No, I do not.
Yeah, I don't see any artist indications on this at all for that one. There is a Bible Man coloring book and activity book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see it well enough. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll have to poke around a little bit and look, see if I can't find Jaxon's Bible Man. That's
good luck on that. Good luck on that. You're gonna have a serious collector find that one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got access to a local guy here by the name of Tom Rock, and he runs the Daytona Beach Comic Con. The dude can find all kinds of stuff, so gotta have a shout out to him because he's pretty awesome and he runs a great show. Herrenberg said, "We love the Elementals, mainly Morningstar and Fathom, of course, but Tommy and Jeff were okay too." And then didn't even know there were Bible Man comics. Seen some video episodes, so yeah. And I think that's kind of probably the way for most people. I didn't realize that there was a comic, but I don't even remember how we saw the video. I don't remember if it was on cable TV or if we rented the VHS tapes or what. I don't remember. I do remember seeing them, but I don't remember how. That sounded interesting. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, that would be my phone ringing. It's a Doctor Who.
Oh, I'm like, what is that sound? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Tommy got it.
Yeah. All right. So Bible Man, and then what did you do?
I don't think I did much after that. I think White Devil was the last I seriously did.
Okay. So what do you? Because I know you're still in comics. Who do you find inspires you today? Do you read comics today? Do you read? I should maybe more specific. Do you read any Marvel or DC comics today?
I rarely can afford them. Yeah. To be honest, it's just one of those. Well, actually, I do make the effort. Matt Wagner.
Okay, good. Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I saw he was coming. He was coming out with Grendel Prime. No, Ultimate. Anyway, Space Grendel.
Yeah.
So I've got all of those, and of course that there's that are out now. I did pick up all of the last of the Mage trilogy.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I've got all that. So yeah.
You're still a Matt Wagner guy.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. And his son Brennan, amazing colorist and painter.
I am not familiar with his work at all. I have to look it up.
Well, actually, he did colors on Mage and on Grendel.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, just go over to Matt's page and click on anything, and you can find Brennan. and just astounding, astounding.
Wubba said Doctor Who. He figured it out as well.
Yeah.
Herrenberg said Grendel, Devil's Odyssey in space.
There you go.
Yeah. So what folks may not know, Jax, is that I have been in communication with you for some number of recent years, trying to twist your arm to sharpen that pencil again.
Yeah, I really wish I'd been able to come through on that last one.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
things happen, and you life happens.
Yeah,
and that's just the way it is. And so I'm telling you here and now, so that everyone can witness it. The minute that you are ready to move forward again with some sweet Jaxon Renick pencils, you know how to get in touch with me.
Oh yeah.
I am a fan and have been a fan of your work for a long time. I love looking at your work. So I would love to see, and of course, I think you could go a lot of places, but I think Silverline would be very honored to have you come back and do something here. Obviously, we'd want to find something that you would want to draw and that you would have fun. I want to see you. I would love to see you talk about a new thing and with the same excitement that you talked about the dragon. I love to draw the dragon, because that's really what it ought to be, Jax. It ought to be fun,
A friend and I were talking, and because I was wanting to do something a little Bernie Wrightson like.
Okay, cool.
Because I was going, let me just get into this penciling and just rah, 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 rah. And I had an idea, and I told it to them, and so we built upon it, and some of it was on Indian lore.
Sure, cool.
And since they were doing the bulk writing and they were doing research on this type and that type, came to the conclusion that, well, they weren't Indian. They and this stuff, because we're going with the coyote, the trickster.
Sure, the trickster. Yeah.
It came to the conclusion of, I'm not Indian, and for folks, this is actual. It's not just mythology. It's just not storytelling. Right, sure. It's part of the religion. And they were going, maybe I shouldn't be telling this story.
Really?
And I thought it was a very valid way of looking at it.
Yeah.
And I was going, yeah, but I'm Indian. We might be able to fudge it by. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just trying to tell a really cool story.
Yeah.
So I can draw the
book, right?
Yeah. So I can draw these circus monkeys that have wings, and
Yeah.
But so we're kind of looking at what else we can put together.
Well, that's cool.
For that.
I'm absolutely glad to hear that, because I am certainly one that thinks that you definitely need to be, knowing you for the years that I've known you, you definitely need to be drawing some comics. I know it's a different gig, and we're a different age than we were 30 years ago. I personally don't look at this anymore as, this is my life's ambition, career. I do these because I love them. I teach during the day. I'm fortunate to have a job that treats me well and likes the fact that I have a comic background, but it also affords me the ability to do comics, this thing that I love. So I'm very fortunate about that. Oven says, have your people call his people. Yeah. Oven, trust me. Jax has seen any number of emails from me that just says, "Hey man, let's do this thing. Hey man, let's draw." So Jax, I wanted you to know. I know that you had a lot of stuff happening to you, and then just life was happening, and there's no, It just happens. But I absolutely wanted you to know that there is very much an open door here for you. Whenever you feel whenever and if ever you feel like hey, I'd like to go back and let's do some Silverline stuff. Please know I'm only an email away.
Oh yeah.
We can make something happen. Well, I got 10:43 on my clock, so we should probably wind this down. Tommy, I'm about to bump you back over here, up in here, if you're still listening, so you can hear. So put your clothes back on. Don't want to catch you unawares. But
he's been too busy.
Yeah, we've been watching him make. It's been kind of fun. Haven't you enjoyed kind of watching him as we talk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's I think it's a lot of fun to be able to do that. But Jax, I do want to say I really appreciate you taking time out of your night to talk with us. I say us, our folks here. But I mean, it's a conversation between me and you, but they've all been part of it too. So
yeah.
you and I go, like I said, a long way back, and so I'm excited to be able to talk with you as part of this Silverline 101. Let people get to know who you are, so that when they see that we have got the Marauder colored, and when they see White Devil, we're going to hopefully, as soon as it gets colored, we're going to slot that thing into Kickstarter, and I'll probably be hollering at you saying, "Hey, Jax, let's want to do some sketches as part of some rewards and stuff like that." So it's always good. I think fans always like to see a face associated with the names. I know Oven does. Something Oven tells me he really likes about the Silverline books is that he's able to kind of meet all the people. Tommy, you got any questions for Jax?
No, just letting everybody know. See, I was actually inking on this.
See it on the screen,
dude. We got you. What tablet are you using there?
iPad Pro. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger ones, so I'd have more real estate. And it's so convenient to draw on. I mean, it's really, really it's better than the Wacom tablets, I think, to draw on.
I had a bamboo tablet. Size of a postcard is your drawing space.
I know, little tiny things. Yeah, this is the larger one, but it's great. It's a great tool to draw on.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So
I need a new tablet, so we'll find out. We'll figure out something here.
I was going to ask you, Jax, do you do your work digital these days?
The Silver Storm
cover
that I sent you. That's all. That's
Sweet.
All digital.
Sweet. Mm. Yeah, and I absolutely love that because of the way we were able to separate the foreground characters from the background, and I know that you went in and I think blurred them out as part of for the look. I thought it looked really, really nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice piece. I'm excited about that. We got to get Scott Gordon is the one coloring that. So Scott, if you happen to come back listening, you need to get on it, man. We're ready to reissue that thing in color. Royal Airship says, do you use a stylus with the iPad? Tommy, I guess this is for you. Do you use a stylus with the iPad, or what kind?
Just the Apple Pencil.
Apple Pencil?
Yep. I don't do. Sometimes you'll get some of the guys will put big rubber things on it. No, I just I've always been a kind of inker, penciler, or whatever. I mean, just I don't need anything fancy. I just grab whatever I've got and I just start going at it. It's just the Apple Pencil is all I'm using.
Yeah. Don't try the orange pencil.
No. Yeah, there you go. This one won't work.
No, that's completely different.
Sometimes you get the magic markers and just start scribbling, and then my wife gets really mad because then I have to buy a new one. And because that doesn't come off.
There's a blonde joke in there. I ain't going there.
No, I've seen Tommy when the brushes on his that he inks with, when they get low, he just reaches back, pulls out some hair, and pops it back in there, and
jam it in there. Keep going.
Goes. That's all he needs. Just a hair and some brush, or some hair and a brush, right?
That's it.
Ink. Yeah.
Yeah, ink. Yeah. So Jax, where can people find you online if they wanna see you, hook up with you online, follow you, watch some of your art? Where can they find you?
They can't.
They can't.
My Facebook is private.
Your Facebook is private.
Yeah.
Do you have an art site anywhere, like a website?
Actually, I have Facebook for my art. I just don't have anything in it.
Okay. So another reason, you Silverline folks who are listening, another reason for us to convince Jaxon to do more comic stuff, so we can see more stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can always, if you've got a question or get a follow-up question for Jaxon, you can always send it to me, and I will be happy to forward that to him or tag him on Facebook so that if he sees when he sees the question, he can respond to it. Jax, anything else before I wrap this up? Anything you want to add?
No, Tommy's got me mesmerized here.
Yeah. Well, everyone,
don't be really mad that he sees him putting skulls in his drawings.
eyeballs.
You better get rid of that. He'll be mad at me. There we go.
You should take a screenshot of that though, and send it to him and ask him what he thinks.
Oh no, I don't want to make him upset.
Yeah. So y'all don't forget that tomorrow we're launching our second Silverline double feature. We're going to have the Bloodline one shot, which is just a one and done, and then the first issue of the Friar Rush miniseries. Both of those comics are done. So when the Kickstarter launches tomorrow, you're really just saying, "Hey, you guys, I like what I see. I want a copy of this." And as soon as it's over, as soon as Kickstarter gets us the funds, we go to our friends down at Kablam, and they do a wonderful job printing our stuff. And then
I happen to know that the Kickstarter that you're just holding up there now is almost done printing.
Oh, really?
I don't know why I would know, but I just happen.
I don't know why you would know that either.
Yeah, I work on it most of the day. Yeah.
So theoretically, for those of you who are watching, Wubba says that looks so good, Tommy.
I appreciate it.
So we could be possibly shipping out as some of the stuff as early as the end of this week. So
yes, absolutely, yeah. And most of it's done. I've still got to do the trading card. No, not the trading cards. The book cards, the book bookmarks, and posters, and one of the big runs. And I've already got all the rest of it printed.
Cool.
Bound up and wrapped up, ready to be picked up.
Woohoo! So those will be coming out to you soon. Another exciting, two more exciting Silverline books for you. So don't forget all of those. And until we see you again on Wednesday, our Wednesday crew, don't forget to, it's really small on the screen
there you go,
to make mine Silverline. So,
all righty.
All right. Let me play our little out screen here.
No, we don't want to go. Don't let us go.
Yeah, we want to do that here. So
there we